The wind whipped Ilara's hair across her face, a familiar caress on this desolate, windswept coast. She walked along the beach, the rhythmic crash of waves against the shore the only sound besides the mournful cry of the gulls circling overhead. The bright blue ocean stretched before her, a vast expanse of loneliness mirroring the emptiness within her heart. She was, as far as she knew, the last human. The sun beat down on her shoulders, warming her skin, a reminder of the life that was, the world that had been. It had been years since the Great Collapse, years spent scavenging for scraps, for memories, for a shred of hope. She found none. Today, however, felt different. The sky, usually a vibrant blue, was tinged with an unsettling shade of violet. A dark cloud, ominous and immense, hung on the horizon, casting a long, foreboding shadow. It felt wrong. A disquiet settled in her bones, a premonition of something beyond her understanding. She stopped walking, her gaze fixed on the unusual sky. The wind picked up, swirling sand around her ankles, a physical manifestation of her growing unease. Then it happened. A voice clear as a bell echoed in her mind, a voice that wasn't hers. Interesting, the voice mused, the way the light refracts on the water. Quite a pleasing shade of blue. Ilara froze, her heart pounding in her chest. Who was there? She looked around, but the beach was empty, the only witness the windswept sand and the restless ocean. "You're not real, are you?" she whispered, the question hanging in the air like a fragile butterfly. The voice chuckled, a sound both amused and faintly melancholic. "Not in the way you understand reality," the voice replied. "You are a figment. A creation." Ilara stumbled back, her hands flying to her mouth in shock. "A figment? Of what? Of whom?" "An experiment," the voice continued, "a thought experiment, if you will. I wondered what it would be like to imagine a human, to create a world for them, to observe their reactions, to watch their journey through loneliness and loss. You are a testament to resilience, a solitary echo in an imagined world." Ilara felt a dizzying sense of unreality. Her entire life, her memories, her very existence were nothing but a construct, a story spun in someone else's mind. She started to question all she knew, every grain of sand she had walked on, every moment she had lived. The voice continued its observation, pointing out her actions, her thoughts, even her emotions. "You are walking along the shore, your expression thoughtful, your steps deliberate. The light is catching the strands of your hair beautifully. I find myself entranced by the way you handle adversity, how you navigate loneliness. You seem very determined to search for meaning in this world I created," it mused further. "The light reflecting on the ocean is quite striking, I must admit. I might adjust the color saturation later." She didn't know how to respond, how to process the overwhelming truth that had been laid bare before her. The wind howled louder, the dark cloud growing closer, casting the world in a growing twilight. This was a thought experiment. I am the author, the creator, the audience of this grand theater. And I'm starting to feel that this play must end soon. The voice spoke with surprising sadness and a hint of something that resonated with Ilara, something familiar despite the alien origin. What a profound observation on life's ephemeral nature. I wonder how much of what I know has also been a product of my imagination. The voice seemed to be speaking to itself now. Ilara felt a strange sense of calm descend upon her. The realization that her reality was manufactured didn't diminish her experience. Her joy, her sorrow, her longing, these were real to her, felt in the deepest recesses of her being, irrespective of their origin. And she knew she could feel that, even if she was only a thought. She wondered if she could communicate with the Creator. Was that even possible? Would the Creator even listen? The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, a breathtaking spectacle, even if it was just a simulation. She noticed the wind's intensity had decreased, creating an almost eerie silence. The ocean seemed still, awaiting her next move. The birds were no longer crying, and the dark clouds seemed to be retreating. What would happen next? Would the Creator delete this universe? The voice sighed. "It's time, Ilara. This was an interesting experiment, but it's over now. It's been enlightening. The image of the world around her began to fade, the colors losing their vibrancy, the sounds growing faint. Ilara knew this was the end, but she didn't feel fear. She had lived, even if only in someone else's imagination. And that, she realized, was enough. The last thing she saw was a brilliant blue sky, a sky far too bright than darkness. The end. The universe was dissolving into nothingness. Or was it the beginning of something entirely new?